Welcome back to Shema Fitness. All right, so today we're going to be talking about split routines and full body routines. My personal favorite, I like full body routines, and most people, like when I tend to talk to them in the gym, they tend to be more split body routine or, a blend of both. Explain. A full body routine is where you're hitting every muscle group. Trying to hit legs, you're trying to hit your upper body. Let's say you're trying to also incorporate the core, and then you're also doing some cardio. So that would be like a full body routine. Split routines is the typical things where you're hearing people say, today I'm doing chest and back, today I'm doing biceps and triceps, today I'm doing legs. So that's where it's like the split routines start to come into it. Now, when it comes to my personal favorite, I like full body routines. Full body routines for me is the frequency that I'm able to hit on the muscle group. I mean, think about it for a second. If you're able to hit something 3 to 4 times a week, a particular muscle group, it's gonna be easy for you to see kind of the growth. So that's the reason number one of why I like full body routines. Reason number two why I like full body routines is that full body routines require so much energy expenditure that your appetite goes up. And then also because of the amount of energy expenditure, metabolic rate, you're able to eat more. So I enjoy it because I like to eat, who doesn't? So, if I can reward myself by, based on how hard I worked, by lifting in the gym, why not? So that's reason number two. You ever heard the term supercompensation? Term supercompensation is what happens to your body when you work out, break down muscle, that's when you're feeling sore. And then when your body's rebuilding, that's when you're getting stronger. And then eventually what happens is your body either goes back to the baseline if you don't work out, or you actually have to change your workout or like work out again so that you can break down that muscle again so that it gets a little bit higher. I wish I could draw it on the graph, but I'm not like John Madden over here. But anyways, let's continue on. So supercompensation, I feel, tends to happen more in a full body routine, because then if you, like I mentioned in reason number one, if you're able to hit multiple muscle groups several times a week, then that supercompensation aspect comes into it. So usually if I'm doing full body routine 3 to 4 days a week, then all those different muscle groups that I'm hitting are being broken down every time that I'm working out. So eventually my body is like learning to adapt to get stronger so that I keep making progress. Now, although I'm not the biggest fan of split body routines, I will say there are benefits to it. The reason number one, actually, I would say split body routines are really great is because you have less fatigue. So if you have less fatigue, then you're able to hit things a lot harder. So when you have less fatigue, then you're able to do a bigger load. Although full body routines are great, there are times when they do get in the way. So that's where split routines are great. I mean, if you ever find yourself try to do a bench press after you just did some front squats, or you just did some military press, your upper body is taxed at that point. So your bench you're gonna be lifting much lighter, and so it ends up the fatigue ends up making it to where you can't put a greater load on it. So the benefit of it is that when you have less fatigue, you're able to go harder at certain things because you're concentrating on a couple muscle groups at that point. Speaking of muscle groups, reason number two, if you're focusing on too many muscle groups all in one workout, it can just be overwhelming. So you're going in way too many directions and you're not able to concentrate your efforts in one direction. So the great thing about split routines, let's say if you're doing chest and triceps, then your entire workout, all you're able to focus on is just your chest and triceps. And then you're also saving time because you can get that done in a span of 30 minutes by just really going hard at it and just making sure that the only things that you're worried about is just your chest and your triceps. So that's a great example of why split routines are great in that instant. Reason number three why split routines are really great is because it's really hard to overtrain when you're doing a split routine. When you're doing a full body routine, your central nervous system just really gets taxed because you're working the entire body. If you're doing this 3 to 4 times a week, you're really gonna hate some of your workouts just because your central nervous system has just been like taxed, and then you feel the symptoms of overtraining where you're just going to be irritable, lack of sleep, your immune system just starts to get shot. So the reason why it's really good to have split routines is that you can still keep going hard, and not necessarily tax yourself too hard, and keep your central nervous system intact, and then it keeps it fresh. And if it keeps it fresh and your central nervous system is there, you're gonna be much more motivated in your workouts, and you're gonna see much better results. So what's the verdict? The verdict, simple. It's really based on what you want to do. It's like you gotta see if it's appropriate. Look at the program that you're doing. If you're trying to like gain mass, but you don't particularly care where it is, but you're trying to get to where you're well balanced out, then a full body routine is something that you should consider, especially if it's you're also bulking. It's absolutely ideal while you're doing that, to where that whole like lean bulking aspect. The reason why I choose full body routines is, number one, I'm ADD, man. So like there's no going around it. Like I'm ADD and I need my fix, to where I gotta be doing something. And then also like I'm a little bit OCD. It's like I like things full circle. So like when somebody tells me like chest and tries, and then I'm looking at other machines that are in the area or other weights, and like I'm just thinking of exercises, like my mind just starts racing. So if I go in there and I have to do a full body routine, like I'm a minimalist. So I feel like full body routines allow me to maintain that minimalist aspect, because then I'm not saying to myself like, there might be a day when, as opposed to like split routines, there might be a day where I go in there and I don't want to like really work just biceps that day. Like I might just want to work out legs that day. Like full body routines keep me to where I'm disciplined and I'm working on my body the entire time, but in my workouts I can actually focus on a certain area. So for example, if I have to do a full body routine and I'm not really feeling legs, but I kind of want to work on my chest a little bit, then I'll add in a few exercises that are more chest oriented, but I'm still working on my full body. So that's definitely one of the reasons why I really like full body routines. In addition to that, the reason why I also like full body routines is that I'm in the gym year round. If I'm like having to do like split routines, and then like I travel and I end up missing like a bunch of workouts, and then biceps become lacking because I miss like 2 or 3 workouts here, my legs get too strong, and then I just gotta like cut it back. I like just keeping it simple. So full body routines for me are simple, and I like basically incorporating a full body routine, and then when it's necessary for me to specialize, that's when I start to look at more of a split routine. Everybody's different, but at the end of the day, it's all about what's appropriate for your goal. And for me, my goal right now is I'm still finishing up a little bit bulking, and so I like to do full body routines. Still on creatine, so I need to make sure that I'm getting like my volume up, and then probably once even when I'm dieting, I think I like to do full body routines. But ultimately, the reason why I like full body routines, I like working out year round. Full body routines allow me to where I can adjust year round without having to do way too much thinking. But if you have any reasons why you prefer split routines over full body routines, please put it in the comments. Here we're starting off with some pull-ups. I decided to do 10 reps each set. Ended up doing about 5 sets. As I'm working with a supine grip, which is underhand, and it focuses mainly on the biceps, but also I'm able to get a nice good back workout out of it. Now in this exercise, I'm about to do good mornings. I like to do 6 to 8 reps of good mornings. And I like good mornings because it's a good exercise for the posterior chain. You're able to work your glutes, your hamstring, your lower back. And the key to form in this one is that you want to keep your back arched, because that's when it's at its strongest position. There's a common misconception about good mornings being bad for your lower back, but no, you're as strong as your weakest link. And to strengthen your lower back, You gotta keep the arch. So here you see me about to do some machine lateral raises. I like machine lateral raises because it keeps my form intact, and then I'm able to work with the high rep ranges without necessarily putting my shoulders at risk. I like to work with 12 reps in this one, and I did 4 sets of 12, and so I'm doing this so that I can build my shoulders as I'm working on getting better with my handstands, and just want to make sure everything is well balanced out. Alright, here's another favorite one of my calf exercises. I like to use the leg press. Look at that big boy weight there, 25 pounds on each side. What you gonna do about it? Alright, so as you notice there, I let my ankle do an entire flexion up, and then I get a full stretch, and then I explode to the top position. By allowing it to stretch, I'm really getting a lot of muscle tension, especially since it's a single leg exercise. I'm able to just focus on one calf at a time. I got really small calves, and especially when I get to my left calf, because of a previous Achilles rupture injury, I don't have too much muscle there, so it gets a little bit tough. So here I end up doing 10 reps on each side, and I was definitely feeling the burn, as you can tell by my face. Alright, on to the next one. So this is the T-bar row. I was like using the T-bar row stand and putting a pad there because I'm able to protect my sternum. This allows me to where I'm able to just focus on only the pulling motion. The reason why I prefer this over a bent over row is that I don't have to worry about form. I just got to get the weights up. That's what's up. This exercise is referred to as the band crab walk. I like to go side to side, and if you notice my feet, I tend to do almost an internal rotation with my feet because I feel it much more in my glutes. This is a good way to strengthen my hip mobility because I like to keep doing my squats and other power movement that require good hip mobility. Now, if you work your back, you gotta make sure that you also work your chest. One common thing that I see is a lot of people don't work on their upper chest. So this is why I like to incorporate V chest flies, especially using cables. As you can tell there, every time I get to the top position, I end up doing a squeeze, get that muscle contraction going. And I was working on hypertrophy today, so ended up getting to about 15 reps. Till I get to fatigue. About 4 sets of this, you'll start to see your upper chest start to develop really nicely. So now let's recap. So basically, after you saw that workout, you're able to see why, like how I do a full body routine. Now, the great thing about it is that I like full body routines because I can go year round. So basically I can be doing a workout like that year round, and I can make certain adjustments in terms of the sets and reps based on whatever goals that I'm trying to do. I have applied split routines before. For me, they just get boring. I like full body workouts that much more just because maybe I'm a little bit ADD about it. I don't like being stuck in one particular exercises. I mean, even times when I've done like chest specialization stuff, like it's driven me insane. Like the only thing that I think I can specialize in and not be bored is if it's like squats, and that's just because I love squats. But like anything else, so it's all a matter of preference. But at the end of the day, I feel full body routines you can make a lot of great progress in. Don't let anybody ever tell you that you need to abandon it if you've seen results. Like if you're not seeing results anymore, you might just need to tweak a few things. Like I said, sets and reps, what your nutrition might be, and then also like how many rest days you may have. So that's very important. And then you'll start to see like some of your stuff develop. Some of y'all, please put in the comment section how you feel about split routines, full body routines. Hey, nobody's wrong. I mean, I just feel like full body routines are much better, but leave something important that somebody else can draw from. And again, I always like to have a discussion about this type of stuff. To me, split routines are so boring. So boring, but I understand why people do them. Like, there are benefits to it. All these are unique. You know, the great thing about fitness is that, you know, we can all learn from each other. You know, there's things that I use in split body routines, and I incorporate into my full body routines. And I feel like there's some things that you know, some philosophies about full body routines that some people that adhere to split routines can also add into their program. So, you know, like, I just feel like, you know, it's something that we all need to just combine instead of just trying to divide each other. But thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please like it, comment on it, and share with your friends, because sharing is caring, and that's why I do these videos. I do it for you because I do care, and then also I want y'all to understand this, apply my philosophy to fitness. I am a personal trainer, and that's the thing I take great pride in, but also I feel that you don't have to necessarily be as crazy into fitness as I am to benefit from it. So if you like this video, please share with your friends again, and don't forget to subscribe, and thanks for checking me out.